Which newspaper on November 3rd, 1940?
36.
He knew Three being the other. You are right for 10 points.
The Risen.
You got them all. 1, 2, and 3. Very quickly, teams. How many legs does a ball? All tied up, and we have about 2 minutes to play. And at the end of our round, an interesting round it was indeed.
New Hampshire Public Television is proud to present Granite State Challenge. Major funding for Granite State Challenge was provided by the New Hampshire Lottery, celebrating 30 years and $300 million to education in the Granite State. Additional funding was provided by Public Service of New Hampshire, energy specialists for homes and businesses throughout the state, supporting high-quality educational programming for viewers of all ages. Digital Equipment Corporation, where we believe a commitment to education is an investment in the future, everyone's future. And Lockheed Sanders, who proudly supports New Hampshire Public Television's educational programs on behalf of its employees and the community.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Jim Janot, and welcome again to another game of the Granite State Challenge. We are at the end of round number 2. 7 teams have qualified for our quarterfinals. We have 2 teams ready to go at it tonight. The winner also to become a quarterfinalist in our quarterfinal round beginning in just 1 week. Let's show you where the teams are from for tonight's game. First of all, we have the Blue Hawks of Exeter High School from Exeter in the Seacoast region of the Granite State. The team is Exeter High School. Let's meet the players.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kruger, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Jeff Oxlard, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Brian Gravely, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Rick Schmidt, and I'm a junior.
With us also for tonight's program, the coach of the team, he is Kerry Kilner. The alternates are Tommy Jennings and Katie Noyes, the Blue Hawks of Exeter High School. We now introduce you to their opponents for tonight's second round game. They are the Astros of Pinkerton Academy from Derry in the southern portion of the Granite State. The team once again is Pinkerton Academy. Let's meet the players.
Hi, I'm Adrian Dancer, and I'm a senior.
Hi, I'm Randy Fesh, and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Brad Gagney, and I'm also a junior.
Hi, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm a junior.
With us also for the program this evening, the coach of the team, he is Alan Buzz Burnham. The alternates are Mike King and Beth Sylvester, the Astros of Pinkerton Academy. And we have one more introduction just before we get into that first round. It is to introduce you to our judges for tonight's game. They are Dan Moynihan of Spalding High School in Rochester. He is on the right. Peter Stojkovic of Oyster River High School in Durham on the left. Our thanks to those gentlemen for being with us for tonight's game. All right, we're ready to head right into round number 1. We still have 10-point toss-up questions in round number 1. We'll have a bonus round, and we'll have a 60-second round we'll tell you all about. Exeter, Pinkerton, each with 1 win. Good luck tonight. The winner to move on to our quarterfinals. For 10 points, name the first poet to be honored with burial in Westminster Abbey. He wrote the Canterbury Tales. Marique of
Chaucer?
Exeter.
Chaucer.
Geoffrey Chaucer is right for your 10 points. Very quickly now, team, name the world's second highest mountain. Brad of Pinkerton.
K2.
K2 is correct for your 10 points. So again, we get off with each team on the scoreboard early, and we're just underway with another 10-pointer. Which Egyptian statue was the subject of a 1992 conference to solve the riddle of how to preserve Brad of Pinkerton?
The Sphinx.
The Sphinx, how to preserve this ancient work. Which term is used in chemistry to designate a solution that resists changes in pH that would normally be produced by the addition of small amounts of acid or base? Ryan of Exeter.
A buffer?
A buffer is right for your 10 points.
I knew that one.
Identify the 1898 war in which Walter Reed studied the origin. Brian of Exeter.
The Boer War.
Can repeat it for Pinkerton. Identify the 1898 war in which Walter Reed studied the origin and spread of typhoid fever in army camps. Adrian.
The Spanish-American.
Spanish-American War is correct. For another 10 points, still very early into our game, name the English poet known for his dramatic monologues such as My Last Duchess. Jeff of Exeter.
William Shakespeare.
Pinkerton. It was Robert Browning. Robert Browning. For the first time tonight, teams, let's take a look at the monitor in the studio. And Adriana Pinkerton.
It's Christopher.
Warren Christopher is the Secretary of State. Absolutely right for your 10 points. Very quick, too, I might add. Well done. Here's another 10-pointer. Name the long whip-like appendage that bacteria and Chris of Pinkerton.
Flagellum.
Flagellum is right. Bacteria and protozoa used for movement. Which general who marched on Atlanta from Chattanooga? Brian of Exeter.
Sherman.
Sherman is right. General William Sherman, cable President Lincoln. Atlanta is ours. 2 answers now needed, teams. 2 answers needed for the 10 points. In which capital, in which country, does NATO have its headquarters? Brian of Exeter.
Brussels, Belgium.
Brussels, Belgium for 10 points. Now you might want to use pen and paper found in front of you for this one. What is the simplified product of 3/4 times 2/5 times 10/3? 3/4 times 2/5 times 10/3. Randy of Pinkerton.
2/3?
Exeter. No talking. We're looking for, sorry, the buzzer beat you, Ryan. We're looking for 1. Here's another 10-point toss-up still early into our first round. What color describes a law that regulates work? Adriana Pinkerton.
Blue law?
Blue law. Blue is the color, is right for your 10 points. Name the religion which Mary Baker Eddy established, Adriana Pinkerton.
The Christian Scientist?
Is right. Christian Science religion is correct for your 10 points. Another 10-pointer with about 3 minutes to go in our opening round. Which part of the brain is the largest and occupies most of the cranial capacity? Jeff of Exeter.
Cerebrum.
Is right for another 10 points for the Blue Hawks. Good round, good pace going, teams. Keep it up. Here's a 10-pointer. Name the period in Roman history beginning with the reign of Augustus. Brian of Exeter.
The Pax and Roma.
That is it. Pax Romana is correct, lasting about 200 years. Listen to this inaugural address.
I see 1/3 of a nation ill-housed, ill-clad, ill-nourished.
Name this U.S. president inaugurated for a second time on a rainy January 20th, Adriana Pinkerton.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt?
Is right, 1937. For 10 points, which of the following does not end in ABLE? Irritable, irascible, imperturbable. I haven't done this all year, so let's just throw it and get it out of here, right? I knew. I threw it, people. You missed it. My first one all year that I had a chance to throw, but I knew upstairs in the pre-production meeting I wasn't going to get through that one. Would a person traveling to Fiji by plane have the shortest route from Honolulu, Sydney, Manila, or Easter Island? Brian of Exeter.
Sydney.
Is right. Sydney is correct for the 10 points. Now what we want you to do is identify the 1932 law that made kidnapping a federal crime. Adriana Pinkerton.
The Lindbergh?
Lindbergh law, named after a famous kidnapping case. Very quickly, name the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Brian of Exeter.
Colin Powell.
Colin Powell is right for your 10 points. Name the Spanish artist who painted the old guitarist. Adriana of Pinkerton.
Picasso?
Picasso is right. We are into our final minute of round number 1. Which U.S. president is the subject of Walt Whitman's poem, When Lilacs, Adriana Pinkerton?
Abraham Lincoln?
Abraham Lincoln, When Lilacs Last and the Dooryard Bloomed. Name the capitals of 2 of the following: British Columbia, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Brian of Exeter.
St. John and Vancouver.
Pinkerton? Adrian?
St. John's and Victoria?
You got Victoria, Fredericton, and Halifax. Here's another 10-point toss-up question for you. What we want you to do is listen to the music and then tell me what this piece is called. Jeff of Exeter.
Reveille.
Reveille, very quickly done is the answer. All right, we have another 10-pointer for you, in which I'll let you know about that a little bit later on. Here's our whistle ending our first round. Pinkerton getting the early lead, 110-90 after our first round of play. All right, well, we know things are up for grabs with that type score. Let's go over and meet up with Exeter. Ryan, Jeff, Brian, and Marique. Another close game going. You people are used to close games anyway, right?
Yeah, we are.
Your first game was against Central?
Yeah,
Yep.
Central.
Pulled it out near the end?
Yeah, right. The last couple questions there.
Are you guys ready to do that again?
Yeah, I think we are. We're ready.
What about practice? Do you get together at all during the week? Practice?
Yeah, a couple times a week.
Trivial Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah.
We do a lot of business for Trivial Pursuit. Well, we hope it works. It's a good game going. Keep it as close and it's interesting as the first time around. Good luck to you. It's the team from Exeter High School. All right, we're going to head into round number 2. Round number 2 is our bonus round, so we'll ask the alternates to move up and join up with their teams, and as they do that, we'll remind you we still have 10-point toss-up questions, but the team that gets the toss-up correctly will have a chance at additional bonus points. In addition, they have their alternates with them as well, so everybody ready to play in round number 2. Exeter, Pinkerton, good game going. For those of you with hands on the buzzer, this is a 10-pointer. In which country were thousands of Huguenots massacred? Brian of Exeter.
France.
France is right on St. Bartholomew's Day in August of '72. Let's come over to Exeter. Ryan, you've got everybody up there to help. I take your answer as the team answer. We have time zones, ha-ha, and letter V.
The letter V.
Letter V. Identify the following which begin with the letter V. The 8th President of the United States.
Van Buren.
Correct. Type of vegetarian who eats no foods of animal origin whatever, such as eggs.
Pass.
It's called a vegan. And a fluid-filled, membrane-bound cavity inside a cell.
Vacuole.
Vacuole, giving them 10 out of 15 on their bonus. All right, we're set for another 10-point toss-up question. What name is given to the first component of an ordered pair XY? Marika of Exeter.
The Independent.
Pinkerton. Randy.
Dependent.
It is an abscissa. Here's another 10-point toss-up. Name the puppet show in which a quarrelsome Adriana of Pinkerton.
Punch and Judy.
Punch and Judy is right for your 10 points. I guess there aren't that many puppet shows. Well done, Adrian. Now you have everybody up there to help out as well. We have time zones, ha-ha, and poetry. Ha-ha. You just want to know what that means, that's all. Well, it's going to fool you a little bit because we're going to tell you that it is identify the following whose surnames begin with the letters H-A.
Oh.
Colorado Democrat who withdrew from the presidential race because of relations with Donna Rice.
Hart.
Is correct for 5 points. President Reagan's Secretary of State who resigned in 1982.
Harshberger.
It was Alexander Haig. And soldier hanged as a spy without trial during the Revolutionary War.
Harris.
Nathan Hale. 5 out of 15 on the bonus. All right, we go again with another 10-point toss-up. Identify Adolf Hitler's favorite composer whose music, Adriana Pinkerton.
Mendel.
You can repeat it all for Exeter. Identify Adolf Hitler's favorite composer whose music had been banned in public performances in Israel because of his anti-Semitic ideas. It was Wagner, Richard Wagner. Here's another 10-pointer for you. Identify the scale named after an American seismologist and used, Brad of Pinkerton.
The Richter scale.
Richter is right. That's the one we're looking for. Back over to the Astros with 3 minutes to play in our second round. We have time zones, poetry, and government agencies.
Government agencies.
Government agencies. Identify the government agency or department from the initials given. NSC.
National Security Council.
Is correct. FAA.
Federal Aviation Administration.
Correct. FTC.
Federal Trade Commission.
15 out of 15 on the bonus. All right, for another 10-pointer. In order to stagger the games, the 1994 Winter Olympics were awarded to the town of Lillehammer in which Scandinavian country? Marika of Exeter.
Norway.
Norway is correct for 10 points. So we'll come back over to Exeter and we'll tell you we have time zones, poetry, and South America.
South America.
South America it will be. Identify each of the following South American capitals, the one with the same name as a Washington, D.C. university.
Columbia.
It is Georgetown. The one with the same name as a variety of bean. Easy, audience.
Lima.
is correct. And the one with a Portuguese name ending in IA.
Brasilia.
10 out of 15 on their bonus. All right, very quickly now, let's take a look at the monitor. And what we want you to do is name Brad of Pinkerton.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, this co-founder and chief executive computer software powerhouse, Microsoft. You guys are pretty quick on those slides, I'll tell you. Let's come back over to Pinkerton. Time zones, poetry, and chemistry.
Time zones.
Time zones it will be. Give the time in the following cities if it is 9 a.m. in New York. Seattle, Washington.
12. Is it 3 hours? Oh, 6. 6.
Correct. Chicago, Illinois.
1 hour. No. 8.
8 is correct. Atlanta, Georgia.
9. No, it's not. Okay. Same time zone. Oh, 9.
Correct. 15 out of 15 on the bonus.
6.
All right, here we go for another 10-point of those with paper and pencil in front of you. And on the buzzer, you may want to use it very quickly. 420 is what percent of 70? Brad of Pinkerton.
600%.
600% is correct. So we come back over to Pinkerton. We have poetry, chemistry, and history. Poetry, chemistry, history. History it will be with a smile. Name the 3 countries for 5 points apiece that formed the Triple Entente from 1907 to World War I.
England, France, and Russia. England, France, and Russia.
15 out of 15 on the bonus. All right, here we go again with another question after we take a little bit of a break. The whistle blows, ending our second round. Pinkerton holding on to that lead halfway through by a score of 200 to 130. All right, we'll ask the alternates to move on back to their seats and come over to talk with Adrienne, Randy, Brad, and Chris. Well, you liked that second round a little bit better, huh? Although you had the lead after the first round. But we talked to Exeter about a close game. You people have had the closest of the season so far.
Too close for my taste.
Yeah, for the people at home, they actually won the game over, what was it, over Dover, right? By 5 points after the buzzer when we got to repeat it. Who was it? Was it you, Chris?
Yeah.
Do you remember the question?
It's about tangents. So how many lines tangent to a circle at a certain point in the plane?
And I have trouble understanding the question, but at least you got the right answer for a great win. Well, we got a little lead here. We're going to try to make it exciting down the wire.
No, it's okay.
No way. This is it. You like the big lead. We'll find out what happens in round number 3. The team from Pinkerton Academy. Well, we will find out what happens in round number 3, which is our 60-second round, and that means each team will have 10 questions asked to them. They get 10 points for every correct answer and a bonus of 10 if they get them all correct in under a minute. So each team fighting for as much as 110 points in this particular round. So we give Exeter, trailing in the game at this point, the chance at the categories first. Mythological people or creatures, dates in U.S. history, the letter T.
Mythological.
Mythological people or creatures. Ryan, again, you can talk to everybody up there, but I take your answer as the team answer. Identify each of the following mythological people or creatures. Start the clock. Leader of the Argonauts who set off to capture the wool of a golden ram.
Jason.
Correct. Animal with a single horn in the middle of its head.
Unicorn.
Correct. Creature that lived in a maze on the island of Crete.
Minotaur.
Correct. Creature who leaves a child money after taking a baby tooth.
Tooth fairy.
Correct. Hero noted for his strength and for the 12 labors he accomplished.
Hercules.
Correct. Sisters who could allegedly turn one into stone.
Gorgons.
Grogans.
Think about it, judges. King who turned whatever he touched into gold. Correct. Sea nymph, half women, half fish.
Mermaid.
Correct. Her face launched 1,000 ships.
Helena Troy.
Correct. Twin brothers who founded the city of Rome.
Romulus and Remus.
Romulus and Remus.
Correct, judges. 10 out of 10 on their 62nd round. Well, that'll make things interesting, won't it? They get 10 and the bonus of 10, so they do get 110 points on their round. Well done, Exeter. Put a little pressure on you, Pinkerton. Dates in U.S. history and the letter T.
The letter T.
Letter T. Again, Adrienne, you can talk to everybody up there. I take your answer as the team answer. Identify the following, each of which begins with the letter T. Start the clock. Cone-shaped tent of a Native American.
TP.
Correct. Highest natural adult male singing voice.
Tenor.
Correct. First woman prime minister of England.
Thatcher.
Correct. Inexperienced person, especially in the Old West, or a beginner in the Boy Scouts.
Tenderfoot.
Correct. Endocrine gland that produces a hormone that affects growth.
Thyroid.
Correct. Bean curd derived from soy milk.
Tofu.
Correct. A tax on imported goods.
Tariff.
Correct. Mythological character condemned to be eternally thirsty with fruit and water just out of his reach.
Tantalus.
Correct. Condition in which a blood clot forms in a vein or artery causing loss of circulation.
Thrombosis.
Correct. A solid figure with 4 triangular faces.
Oh.
Sorry, you said it, Adrian. It is tetrahedron. They get 9 out of 10 on their 62nd round. All right, that'll bring us to the end of round 3, and it did tighten up a little bit there with that good round by Exeter. Actually, a very good round by Pinkerton as well, but we've completed 3, 290 to 240, and now Exeter and Pinkerton. We have 10-point toss-up questions the rest of the way. No more talking to each other, but a lot of time to go. Here we go for 10 points. Who succeeded to the presidency following the death of William McKinley? Brian of Exeter.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore Roosevelt is correct. The island of Tasmania is the smallest state of Brian of Exeter.
Australia.
Of which nation? Australia is correct. Name the aunt with whom Tom lives in Mark Twain's Adriana Pinkerton.
Aunt Polly.
Aunt Polly, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. What name is given to the ruling group formed by Pompey, Julius Caesar, Adrian of Pinkerton?
Triumvirate.
Judges, yes, that's correct. The first triumvirate is right. As one advances down the periodic chart from chlorine to iodine, does the chemical activity of halogens increase, decrease, Randy of Pinkerton?
Decrease.
Decrease is correct for your 10 points. Alcatraz, a former prison. Adriana Pinkerton.
San Francisco.
You can repeat it all for Exeter. Alcatraz, a former prison, is named from the Spanish for which type of bird whose large lower bill is used to scoop up and store fish? Jeff.
Pelican.
Pelican is correct for 10 points.
For the bird.
Very quickly, teams, identify the Wolverine state whose name is derived, Randy of Pinkerton.
Michigan.
Michigan is the Wolverine state, derived from an Indian word for Great Lake. For 10 points, teams. What is the period of the sine function? Ryan of Exeter.
2 pi.
2 pi is correct for your answer. Name the smuggler and pirate born in France. Brian of Exeter.
Jean Lafitte.
Jean, say it again.
Lafitte.
Yes, they're going to take that. Jean Lafitte is correct. He aided General Jackson, the battle in 1815. Just under 3 minutes to play. Name the English poet whose contrasting poems, The Lamb and the Tiger, show opposite sides of human nature. Brian of Exeter.
William Wordsworth.
Pinkerton. It was William Blake. William Blake. About 2.5 minutes to go in our game. In which city is the new Camden Yards ballpark? Randy of Pinkerton.
Baltimore.
Baltimore, Maryland is right for the Baltimore Orioles. Identify the type of sales tax imposed on certain commodities within a country, such as liquor, tobacco. Randy of Pinkerton. You can repeat it for Exeter, but I won't. Brian?
Syntax.
It is specifically an excise tax. The question would have continued to go on with liquor, tobacco, and gasoline. Gasoline clearly not a sin tax. Here's another 10-pointer with a couple of minutes to go in our game. Name one of the 2 humors of the eye. Chris of Pinkerton.
Vitreous humor.
Say again?
Vitreous humor.
Vitreous humor is right. Aqueous humor being the other. For another 10-pointer, name the states on which South Carolina borders. Brian of Exeter.
North Carolina and Georgia.
Correct for another 10 points for the Blue Hawks. Well done. Which inherited condition whose symptoms include exceptional height and thinness is believed to have afflicted President Lincoln? It is called the Marfan syndrome. Another 10-pointer. Which woman for whom John Hinckley said he shot President Reagan? Adriana of Pinkerton.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster is right. Starred in and directed in The Little Man Tate. All right, we have about a minute to play. Paper and pencil in front of you. What is the area of an isosceles right triangle if one of the congruent legs has length 8? Ryan of Exeter.
32.
32 is correct for 10 points. Another 10-pointer. Which artifact of biblical fame have Adriana Pinkerton.
The Dead Sea Scrolls.
You can repeat it all for Exeter. Which artifact of biblical fame have astronomical expeditions searched for on Turkey's Mount Ararat? Brian.
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark is correct for another 10 points. Here's another 10-pointer. Give the term used to describe a member of the privileged class in ancient Rome. Adriana Pinkerton.
Patrician.
Patricians is correct for 10 points. What name is given to the maximum temperature at which a gas can be liquefied? Jeff of Exeter.
Critical temperature?
Say again.
Critical
temperature is right for your 10 points. For another 10-pointer, which marine clam-like animals, also called lamp shells, were the whistle blew, ending the game? It will be Pinkerton moving on into our quarterfinals with a 370 to 330 win tonight. High scoring and well played. Wonderful game. Congratulations, Pinkerton and Exeter. Super game and your first win as well as tonight. Be with us for our first quarterfinal next week as the Broncos of Alvern High School take on the Indians of Merrimack Valley High School. Until then, I'm Jim Janot. Have a great week, everybody. Good night.
Major funding for Granite State Challenge was provided by the New Hampshire Lottery, celebrating 30 years and $300 million to education in the Granite State. Additional funding was provided by Public Service of New Hampshire, energy specialists for homes and businesses throughout the state, supporting high-quality educational programming for viewers of all ages. Digital Equipment Corporation, where we believe a commitment to education is an investment in the future. Everyone's future. And Lockheed Sanders, who proudly supports New Hampshire Public Television's educational programs on behalf of its employees and the community.